There I find myself from 3 hours ago, didn't know who or what Nobu was, to being in Nobu's restaurant, rubbing shoulders with Robert De Niro.
You did not. Well, we got close to him. There she goes. There she goes. Welcome back to the podcast. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Lee.
Welcome, everybody. How are you today? That's a rhetorical question because you can't answer right now.
Oh, but they're great because they're here. They're listening to us. Let's have some fun.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
Thanks for rating. Thanks for reviewing.
Thanks for subscribing.
Hey. It's always good to do that.
Yeah. It does make a big difference. Makes people come to the podcast and also subscribe, which you need that. So, okay, what are we going to talk about? What's news today?
Let's talk about what we've been doing because we've been on the road. Someone today asked if we were still paying taxes in the United States. Or in Mecklenburg County because we haven't left the country yet.
No.
We have been bouncing around the coast, west and east, doing some corporate events. So what we've been doing is some corporations have hired us to come and join them for whatever event they're hosting for clients, advisors, performers, employees, whatever, to teach exercise. So we teach the method each day before they get started, which is great. And we're so grateful these corporations are focused on wellness and rewarding their people with such good things. And then we'll, lead walks and personal training and consultation. So it's been fun.
We do a little bit of, and we're starting to move into a little bit more of the longevity part of it, which is part of the fun little talks. And we're sort of weaving that in, you know, because we have the old person on our team.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's just dive straight into. So that's what we've been doing. Different events. Love it.
Yeah, and by the way, when you see all this stuff on Instagram and they go, all y'all do is party and have fun and travel, we do party, have fun, and travel, but almost all of those, except for, once a year, pretty much, are work related.
That's right.
But we have a joie de vivre with our work relationships.
That's right. We managed to make it work. Because why not? If we're not here in the happy place, then we want to enjoy happiness.
We take our happy place
places
with us.
Well, and I think it's nice to meet a lot of other people from a lot of different places and walks of the earth with a lot of different jobs. And, I'm honored to get to teach, coach, whatever, inspire people in that way and follow let's get into longevity. I think you continue to be an inspiration and you're the obvious spokesmodel for what longevity means.
Well, that's very sweet of you to say. But I was going to kind of throw it back to the corporations that we've been working for also for a minute, because it's really an honor for us to be in the presence of these really high-powered, strong individuals that really are leaders in their field. And so when they go on these trips, they're being pampered. Right. And so when we're working them out, when we're talking to them about fitness and talking them through different things they can do to be healthy, it's fascinating because they're high powered. They're always that A-type sort of driven person. So I love being around them. So they inspire us, we inspire them, but our job is always to show them how they can feel better and be even better at what they do.
Yes, pause. You're jumping to the next one.
Sorry.
Yep. So before we talk about one of the events that we did that we can talk more about, I do want to do a brief kind of dive into longevity.
Okay.
Because I think that's a huge part of what we're doing. And last episode, we always laugh it's not really laughable that you've been ahead of these trends and waves for a long time when it comes to things like protein, when it comes to things like strength training, when it comes to longevity being such a big deal. We know it's a big deal, and let's talk about it because you've always, you're 71 obviously, and living life in this part well. Right. And I think that's the differentiation between growing old and aging well.
Yeah. And I don't know, why would anyone want to be my age or 81 or 91 or 101 and not feel good? I would rather just go ahead and, check out. Let's get out of here. The longevity part is it builds on each other. Yeah, you start your longevity in your 20s, 30s, 40s. Maybe your habits weren't great, and if you did hear our last podcast, you'll see that mine weren't so great. But you are building those blocks, and the more you can be aware of it, the earlier you start. The strength training, the good nutrition. More important, I think, than anything about being old and being happy is having a purpose in life.
And I think exactly what we're going to get to.
I really believe that. And I know I'm going to let you lead into how we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the way I feel about life right now is that I am so excited. And I wasn't as excited younger, maybe because I didn't feel I was so in control. But I'm not in control of the world, but I am very self-aware and know that I'm in control of myself. And when you really know that in your bones, and I think if you're staying healthy and you get older and you can manage to know that about yourself, you can do great things. You can do anything you choose to. And so why would I not be the happiest, healthiest in my life that I am?
Right.
So,
I love that.
Anyway, I think purpose is important. So go ahead.
And so part of what we did in making some connections at these events was head up to New York for some meetings and some interviews and some auditions and a few other things. And one non-work, really fun side of the things we got to do was see a film at the Tribeca Film Festival, which is incredible. So I've never been.
No, I've never been either. It was really fun.
Film festival, I don't think.
Well, no, I've been to a film festival. I went to the Toronto Film Festival.
Oh, cool.
When I was in dental hygiene, when I was in Pilates, school.
When you were training
to be certified.
Yeah.
And so I had been around, and this was really cool because we were in New York, and again, being around these corporations, then they say, "Come on, let's go. First class. Let's go to this." We went to see this amazing movie called Nobu.
Nobu? Right? You're like, is that how you say it? Yeah, so Liz didn't know of the restaurants or the hotels.
Here she goes.
Nobu. Did you?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm not calling you out.
We're in
it's
the
just a yes
we're
or
in
no.
the taxi, and I'm going, Nobu. So this is a person and a place. And you're like, yeah.
Yes.
And but I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going halfway through the movie. I'm like, Lee, why didn't you tell me about this place? Why have we never been here?
Of course.
And there we were. Keep going.
And there we were. So we got to see one film at the Tribeca Film Festival. So we headed into Tribeca and went in, and large screening room, very cool, watched the documentary. So it is straight up called Nobu. We are speaking of Nobu Matsuhisa, who is a Japanese restaurateur. The story is so in depth. So what we kind of want to take out of it, I'll give an overview and pull some of the big themes, and a lot of that leads to kind of longevity and purpose in life. So he started early in his career working at sushi restaurants. He moved to Peru and
before even that, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
The thing I really loved about his early life, and I knew nothing about this man, obviously. He was asked to leave school, expelled from school, in trouble with school. School was not his thing. He was sort of like, get out of here. And he started as a sous chef. But go ahead with your story. He was deemed one of those troubled, don't mess with him kind of kids.
So
I
relate to that.
Keep going.
Yeah. And I won't do any more spoilers. Watch the documentary because I thought it was
quite good.
Really good. But he basically ends up in Peru. And so he has a real Japanese-Peruvian influence and fusion in his cooking. He landed in Alaska, and there, I won't spoil it, there was a huge failure, basically, at that point. And he spoke about wanting to kill himself at some point. And he had a young family, and his wife, seeing them
Don't tell too much. Don't tell anymore.
He ended up in the West Coast opening up his first restaurant, Matsuhisa, which is just a highly celebrated restaurant. And then Robert De Niro, and probably some other people were involved, but obviously the well-known actor, wanted to invest in his restaurants and asked him for a long time to open in New York and the East Coast. And long story short, he finally has, and his restaurants are all over the world with Robert De Niro and some other high profile partners. They've turned it into hotel chains, Vegas, all over the world. So after the movie, there was a panel with the director, Matt, I can't remember his last name, Robert De Niro, Nobu himself and Ruth Reichel, who, if you are a foodie at all, she is a well-known food critic. So that was really cool, especially
it was really fun.
For me being very into the food scene and you learning about this for the first time.
Right.
We both really enjoyed it.
And us being in this sort of serendipitous position of, we're going to this, that day, that afternoon.
It all worked out.
It all worked out. We were like, we didn't really know we were going. Great. And then at this point, the person who's invited us, who's someone most people would know, top of her field in business, invited us to go to a private event.
Yeah, the after party, basically.
The after party
at Nobu
with all
in
the
Manhattan.
people that are in the movie and all those sort of things, and it was stunning. And so there I find myself from 3 hours ago, didn't know who or what Nobu was, to being in Nobu's restaurant. Rubbing shoulders with Robert De Niro.
You did not. Well, we got close to him. Let's be honest.
Hold the hell up.
I said we got near to him.
Okay, you are like so quick on these things. Rubbing shoulders with the guy that produced it, directed it, all of that.
Okay. All I'm saying is you didn't rub shoulders with Robert
No, we
De Niro.
didn't do this.
I know.
Yeah.
But we did see him
get
paparazzi attacked.
Yeah. It really was special, wasn't it?
It was. No, I'm not trying to take things off of it. I'm just saying specifically De Niro, we didn't get to talk to him, but we saw him. We were walking in at the same time, which was very cool, but it was not cool because he's getting harassed.
He was. Boy,
by
paparazzi. And even one of the women we were with was like, I'm a New Yorker from way back. This is unusual. Mm-hmm. Like, they're used to stars in New York, but they really went after Robert.
It was kind of weird.
They were like screaming at him and stuff. It was crazy.
But to give you credit, you did have a conversation with the director.
Yes.
I mean, yes, it was.
And
a
he
big
also
deal.
did the movie about Valentino.
I know,
and
the documentary.
Oh, it's so good. Both of those movies. Mm-hmm. So this was like, again, we just found ourselves in this wonderful position, and it's all from doing all these kind of fun corporate things. And
right.
It was great.
But the themes, let's talk about that kind of of the movie, whether or not you see it, like Nobu, like Sushi, period, otherwise. This is, I'll have to double check, but he is probably in his 70s, Nobu.
He's
at
79,
this point.
I think.
And I don't think he had real success until later in his life.
Right. And he always, I loved it, and I'm not going to give anything away on the movie, but you get the sense, all he really wanted to do was cook, and he does say in the movie, I just want to break even and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I think people with purpose, with passion, that they just want to do what they love, and then the success comes.
Right.
He didn't go, as a matter of fact, when De Niro and those guys came to him at first, he was like, I just want to be here. I want to have some fun, and turned him down.
Yeah.
So it was so motivating to me because he's older than me, which is very few people are.
Who?
Nobu.
Is
he's
he?
70? He's 79 years old. They said that at the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna fact check
and that's
that.
You can fact check. And maybe he's late 70s. And they were like, when are you going to slow down? He was like, I don't know. I really love what I'm doing, and I think that's kind of the way I kind of get. I was so motivated. And
Exactly.
inspired.
I mean, I think it's direct correlation with your story in certain ways. He's 76, by the way, so you're really close.
Okay.
Older than you, check.
Yeah.
And I love that part about saying break even. Like, what does success mean for you? For him, it didn't mean how much money he made at these restaurants, even though now he is a bazillionaire.
Yeah.
He wanted to cook to make people happy. He wanted his, family to be happy. His clients, what do you call the people who come into a restaurant?
Customers?
Yeah, but there's another word.
Well, customers.
Patrons.
Yeah.
That's a better word. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kristen. To come in and just feel the joy and the happiness. And so the other thing that I really loved that they shared a lot of in the story is the familial teamwork.
Yes.
So his ability, his grueling schedule to go around the world, literally to all the restaurants that he does own, and really sit down and talk to the teams, from the bottom to the top, to the inside out, to really have honest conversations with the chefs. It was really powerful.
There was a couple of scenes that I totally related to, because you want your people that work with you to feel like family, because you do. You don't want
Yeah.
people that are working for you to feel like you don't see them, that you don't know them. And we are all in this together. If one is weak, we will, we take care of each other. But at the same time, and it's an interesting way that they depicted so well in this film, he is a meticulous perfectionist. The same way I feel in this room where people are doing something physical, and if I see a teacher or a trainer not doing it the way I like it done, I'm going to say something.
Of course.
And he did it, and it was terrifying to some of these chefs. But at the same time, he had the wing was open.
Absolutely.
To hold them and be close. And it was fascinating to me to watch him do it, because I was sweating for one of his chefs. I was just sweating, going, please get this dish right.
I mean, how many times do you think he had to send him back?
Oh,
4?
God, I don't know. Just watch the film. It's so good. But yeah, you're just like, oh, Lord, just get it right. Do what he said.
And that's the thing. I mean, he's put his blood, sweat, and tears into this. And so he's just asking for the same, because, quality is so important. And I know, because he said it in the film, and some friends of his who we were with watching it said, how long can you go like this? And I think as long as your heart's in it. I mean, that's a question for you. Like, how long can you do this?
It's kind of you know what I think it is, a silly question. And I understand where it's coming from. Maybe I would ask that of somebody else older than me.
Sure.
But I do not ask that of anyone anymore. Like, how long do you want to do this? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it until it feels like I don't want to do it anymore. And when the passion is gone, you're no longer successful, period. I mean, you'll see businesses go down when people are just hanging on by a thread. If you want to be successful in life, do what you love. If you're not doing what you love, stop what you're doing and do what you love. Literally. And that's what I did. And people go, you're just born for this, or no, I'm not. I'm not lucky in any way. I just found something that I was passionate about. And what did that passion do? It wasn't just the workout. It wasn't just the whole, now it's turned into longevity. It changed my life. When you do whatever you want to do and it's passionate, it will change your life in unexpected ways.
And that's why he's still able to do the hard work in your 70s.
Right. And by the way, that's young.
I agree.
I'm thinking, I told somebody the other day, I might let my hair go gray around 91. And she was like,
why then? Like, why even
I don't
quit?
know, Liz. You might start to look old then. But I thought it might age me, but I thought 91, would that be a good time?
I don't think you're going to know till you get there.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to just keep going.
Yeah.
You got to just keep going. But anyway, I thought it was a good documentary. I thought it was really fun and exciting for us to get to see them in real time and space, for us to have a bite. Lots of fast food. We barely got any, but it was delicious. And I think we'll make it a goal at some point to go to one of his restaurants all over the world.
For heaven's sakes. Yeah, we tried it last night. It was amazing.
To see the back end. The dream, the desire.
Yeah.
And to know that story when you see it on your plate makes it a really different experience.
Yeah, but I kind of want to say something in a big way. Like,
go for it.
The fact that we were even able to do these things together, to do this in New York, to be in places that I wouldn't have imagined walking into. And I'm not talking about just this film festival and rubbing shoulders with Robert De Niro. That's not the thing.
Right.
The thing, sometimes I would just look around and I'm like, we're flying to New York. I'm gonna go and interview with somebody in Hearst Tower. I'm gonna talk to a big dog in the publishing business. And I just kind of I literally pay attention, and I don't pinch myself, but I do pinch myself and go, just a couple of years ago, I couldn't have imagined this.
Right.
The things that you can do when you really allow your passion to have its way with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and to really also enjoy it, and to choose the people you're around. And this is why we would love to come and work with your companies if you would like us to, but we feel like we're really honored to be around these top people.
Right.
And they bring us to our higher level. We bring them to their higher level. And then the things that happen are higher level in everybody's lives.
Exactly.
Ours especially right now.
Thanks. That was really well said.
Thanks.
And that is the point, that I'm grateful that work is play and play is work. And I think when you, can attack something that way, then it's so much more valuable. And the windows open a little wider. The path gets a little bigger, and we're slowly and steadily seeing that. And
we're allowing it, and we're seeing it. Yeah. So
manifest it, baby.
We are, so are we going to continue on, or are we going to tell them where we're going next week?
No, we'll already be gone by the time they hear this. We don't want to rub it in your face.
No. Well, we don't
time
go
to travel.
Yeah, it's time for
We're
us to
recording
travel
this
for fun.
before we travel, but we will be away for a few weeks this summer.
Yep.
Back and ready to roll when we do get back. But for now, let's keep living the dream. So we are going to have some actual vacation. I will have my actual computer and be doing actual work.
Yeah,
but,
well, all of our vacations
it's always there.
I'll probably end up writing something.
Probably. You need to keep
and with
the
a deadline,
pen to the paper.
With a deadline, of you need this in 1 hour, that kind of thing.
I do remember a couple years back, someone called you on a trip, and I was like, we're about to go to lunch, and you had to do this big interview.
What
and
was
I was
that?
like,
I remember that. Yeah, it was an interview. And I was like, I have to. This is a big deal. And I had to get it done. And then we went to one of our favorite restaurants, Saldano's.
yeah, La Giostra.
I can't say it.
Don't worry about it.
I'll be better when I get to Italy. I'll be better.
Exactly. But thanks for
being
all
with
the
us.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Yeah. And
you and you and you.
So let's just let's keep going out there and having a good following our passion, finding our passion if you hadn't found it yet, and getting the hell out of whatever's not making you happy. There it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.